Hey there, and welcome to the HorseWisdom Energy Forecast. I am Jess Cammons with guidedbyequus, and I'm here with Noche and Fancy, who have switched spots with Coast and Mahari. And so these guys are now grazing on pasture. And it actually felt like it almost felt like it was getting too much for them in the space that they were at. So to change things up over the weekend, they came here, and it actually feels like that's relevant to what this week is bringing us. Over the past weekend and maybe into this week, it's like there's a shift in our world occurring, and there was a shift in the herd this weekend as we had the arrival of Noche's little black daughter, Noche and Karma's little black daughter, Raven. And it kind of busted things open in a way that actually this feels relevant to just being able to have some space, and whatever had been kind of almost, I want to use the word raging inside of us. There's just this busted kind of wide open sense that's happening this week. And almost like the image that I just got is when a seed kind of pops up through the ground, it has to bust the ground open so that it can emerge. And part of this week, the energy of this week, because these two are a lot more settled here. They're just that ability to give themselves space from each other, but just also to have space to be able to move in a way that was different than where they were at. Just feels like kind of a breath of fresh air. So almost that sense of something breaking open within you, or you breaking open something into a new world. That's kind of the idea that I keep getting. And what was really interesting is Coast and Mahari, who have been on this pasture for the entire winter, they almost acted like wild horses for the first little bit when we caught them and put their halters on and did their feet. It was like they just forgot that they were domesticated, and then that they kind of settled into themselves, and now they're over there in the space of stuff happening on a really daily level, just interaction of humans and vehicles and tractors and animals and everything. So it's like they've been brought back into a world that they had kind of escaped from, which feels also relevant for this week. It's like all these worlds are kind of colliding together as something breaks open, and there's really actually a sense of empowerment that's coming from this feeling of breaking open this week. And what kind of another piece that I wanted to share too was the idea of around miracles. And so this breaking open is actually, it could look or feel like a miracle that is gracing your life. And there's actually many pieces to what that has looked like in my world lately, but just, I guess to share a little bit about that is that I had the sense that Karma was leaving or deciding to potentially leave. And so just opening up the space of compassion and being available for whatever it was that she needed to do the day before she foaled actually helped me connect to something that I needed to break open within me. And the next morning, not expected at all, was her little brand new black filly on the ground. So just, it's like a breath of fresh air. All of a sudden we get to breathe life back into something as we emerge through this breaking open of ourselves this week. And those two have kind of showed up there. So much love from myself and Noche and Fancy and all of the horses of guidedbyequus. And this breaking open is really, really connected to what feels like, I want to use the word soul restoration. So it's like we are recovering an aspect of our soul that we didn't realize we had lost somewhere along the way in our lives. And this breaking open piece is giving us the opportunity to reconnect with it in a way that really actually helps our world kind of make sense, for not that we can now know where we're going in the future, but that we feel more connected to who we are. And by feeling more connected to who we are, it actually doesn't really matter where the future takes us, because we realize that we're all right, and wherever we go, we will be all right. So much love from myself and the horses, and I look forward to connecting with you guys next week too. Bye for now.